episode of Channel 914. I'm your host, as always, Rail Allen. And we are back after a little hiatus at the end of 2023, kicking off 2024. You know what I'm saying? Like new shit. We got a sign shit right there. You see that? All illuminated in the background. Shout out to my kid, my daughter Nia. She got me that for Christmas. I thought that was very nice. Almost shed the thug tear when she gave it to me. But yeah, man. So we back, bigger, better, with lights, with one light. One light. But yeah, that shit is new. It's nice. But yeah, man, I just wanted to do a kind of a recap because we've moved into this new year, and I'm sure all types of new weird shit is going to happen. But a lot of just really strange, weird things happened in 2023. We had the fake kidnapping, the Carlee Russell debacle, where she had basically everybody in the country looking for her stupid ass, and come to find out that she was not kidnapped. So first off, she claimed that when she was on the phone with somebody, then she's like, I forgot who exactly she was on the phone with. Then she was like, I see her. There's a baby on the side of the road, just walking on the side of the road, right? So she gets off the phone to go get this baby, and then she's never heard from again. So not only do they think that she's missing, but there's also this child that's missing. And people are thinking like they were using the child to lure her. This got to do with sex trafficking and all this other stuff. You know, her being a black woman. There was a whole like, you know, you got to believe black women. Black women are not cared for. And when they go missing, people don't look for them the way they look for everybody else, which is true. Not going to take anything away from that. But that was not true in this case because Carlee Russell was not missing. She was not kidnapped. There was no baby. She was sitting in a fucking hotel room for 2 days eating fucking jujubes and Kit Kats, waiting for this shit to blow over. Come to find out that she was just trying to get her boyfriend back. Her boyfriend was trying to leave her. She didn't want him to leave. So this is what she landed on. I'm going to fake my kidnapping to get my man back. It did not work. She was also brought up on charges. The court in Alabama, the Alabama Sheriff's Office, whatever the fuck you want to call it, charged her with 2 misdemeanors in association with that hoax, which can lead up to a year in jail time and a $6,000 fine, which just seems like, I don't know. I don't want her to go to jail, right? She did waste a lot of people's time, people's money, a lot of man hours, people looking for her. But she's stupid, right? There's a very, very dumb thing to do, but I don't think she's a criminal. I don't think she should go to jail. But if she does, I mean, shit, sometimes, man, you play stupid games, you win stupid prizes. So, we'll see what the fuck happens with that. And like I said, she did not get her boyfriend back. And he seemed to be a little bit of an idiot too, because he tried to parlay this into some sort of internet fame. He was like hosting parties for a minute and all this other shit. So they fuck around deserve each other. Maybe they should get back together. I don't know. But yeah, that was definitely one of the weirdest things that happened in the past year. But that wasn't it. That was not it. Something else that had the internet in a chokehold for a little bit, so people went missing in a submarine that it was like a makeshift submarine. People weren't scientists that made it. They were billionaires, very rich people. They owned a company that created this submarine. They were using a controller, it was like a PlayStation controller or some shit to pilot it. And it went missing. They were going down there to look at the Titanic wreckage, and about an hour and 45 minutes into their journey, they lost contact. and there was a lot of speculation as to what happened. They were looking for them for a few days, man. This shit went on for a while. And come to find out that they all died. The submarine imploded because it was not able to handle the intense pressure that comes with traveling that deep in the ocean. They might have known that if they believed scientists. There were people on that rode in that ship before it crashed that heard things, and they were saying that there was something wrong, things that need to be checked out. What was really unfortunate that one of the passengers had their son, 19 years old, was brought on board, and he also would perish in the crash, that was very unfortunate. I mean, it's obviously unfortunate for everybody that passed. I mean, they had families, people that loved them, but it just doesn't seem like there was a lot of quality decision making that went on before they went in this submarine and tried to travel down there. Obviously, I wasn't there. I don't know what happened for real. But I just know that if I get into a submarine and the motherfucker pull out a PlayStation controller, like, yeah, this is what we used to pilot it. You know, man, I'm probably going to sit this one out. I'm going to go back to the control room. And, I'll see y'all when y'all get back. I'm going to watch it on TV. I'm going to watch it from the monitors in the control room, and I'm going to watch y'all go down there. And, we'll see what happens. I can see what y'all see from the safety of dry land. So unfortunate what happened to those people. But it was just a very strange story, and just how, like, all the information was coming out, and, like, people were searching for them. They thought they were still alive, and it's just like, how the fuck are they still alive in a submarine? Like, 4 days later, they don't have enough air. But people were still holding out hope. Then they found out that the submarine just imploded, which sounds like a pretty horrible way to die. But it also sounds like it probably was like instantaneous. So they might have just not even realized what happened until whenever happens when you enter into the afterlife and they look up and like, oh shit, I'm not alive anymore. That's got to be pretty fucked up. Very, very weird. Very, very strange. That whole ordeal was just kind of wild. Also, it was pretty wild. If you guys remember this, because I honestly forgot about this for a second, but there was wildfires in Canada that the smoke ended up coming all the way down to the U.S. and blanketing a large part of the country. New York was really bad. Here in Chicago, it was really bad. I mean, it was hazy outside. They had the air quality alerts. You could smell it like you go outside. You smell like the sky was on fire, or the sky was burning or whatever. It was really fucking strange, and it was just kind of like this orange haze look that it had. It was. I haven't experienced anything like that in my life. I never knew that something like that could even take place. Obviously, I'm aware of wildfires happen in California all the time. I know they happen in Canada. But I've never experienced it being so bad that the smoke would travel down and affect visibility and air in Chicago. We're a northern city, but shit, we ain't that far north. We ain't Canada north. And for that to happen the way that it did, it created like a very weird and eerie feeling. We all know global warming is a thing, even though people like to try to still deny it. I don't know how the fuck you can do that at this point. Global warming is definitely very, very much a thing. So the environment is just kind of, we're experiencing new things all the time now. I don't know if this is going to become a regular occurrence. I certainly hope not. I hope we don't constantly see, or like on a yearly basis, we get wildfire smoke from Canada. But I think this is just another symptom of what we've been experiencing, and what we're probably going to continue to experience. And maybe not that exactly, but other things like it are just going to continue to happen because climate is changing. And I don't know if we reached the threshold of being able to like do things about it, or if this is just kind of like we've reached that tipping point already. I hope not. But I also don't think that us using paper straws is going to get it done. I don't think that's the solution. I think we're going to try to have to figure out something else. I don't know what that is, but I can almost assure you that paper straws, that's not it. But we'll see. So also shit in the air. We had a weird kind of over a week or so span where, okay, first there was this Chinese spy balloon that was just floating around, right? And nobody knew exactly what it was. The Chinese were saying it was just like a weather balloon or something like that. It just got lost. Was just like, how the fuck did it get all the way over here? And then it's like the government was reluctant to do anything about it. And then after a few days, they finally shot it down after they drifted off the coast of Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. So that happened on February 4th. And then 5 days later, another one was spotted flying off the coast of northern Alaska. It's pretty much the same situation. That one got shot down the following day. And then another one was found shortly after that. There were like two more UFOs, one over the Yukon Peninsula and the one over Montana, and they were both shot down. But in a span of 8 days, you had 4 unidentified objects that were spotted in the atmosphere above Earth, and then they were shot down, right? First they were just like weather balloons, and then we were seeing other weird shit that we didn't know exactly what it was. They were just marked as UFOs. We don't know if they were manned or unmanned. Very, very weird shit. And then, not long after that, the government decided to hold some UFO hearings, right? And in these UFO hearings, 3 military veterans testified in Congress. It was including a former Air Force intelligence officer who claimed the U.S. government has operated a secret multi-decade reverse engineering program of recovered vessels, UFOs. He also said that the U.S. has recovered non-human biologics from crash sites. That means something that's alive or was once alive, but not human. We don't know exactly what that was. Was in some sort of humanoid form, bacteria, fungus, whatever. Either way, some shit that's alive that was not human, right? That would suggest that there may have been some sort of alien carcass recovered from that. Who knows? Who knows? Retired Major David Grush, who went from being part of the Pentagon's UAP task force to becoming a whistleblower, told the House Oversight Committee National Security Subcommittee that he had been denied access to some government UFO programs, but he knows the exact locations of UAPs in the U.S. possession. So basically, and the U.S. is kind of like, all right, well, yeah, we was telling y'all for all these years, all these people talking about they seen UFOs and all this other stuff, and people were abducted and all that, and I don't know about the abductions, but yeah, I mean, yeah, UFOs exist. There have been multiple unidentified flying objects that have entered Earth's atmosphere that we have no knowledge of, that did not come from this Earth, and we've recovered. They've acknowledged it and said it was true, which is funny how, like, the government periodically does that. They'll, like, say, yeah, no, y'all don't know what the fuck y'all talking about. Yeah, that didn't happen. What? That's crazy. That's crazy that you would even think that we would keep something like that from y'all. And then, like, 10, 15, 20 years later, they'd be like, oh, yeah, you know what? We actually were lying about that. Yeah, that did happen. It's funny how the government does that all the fucking time. But I don't know how surprised I am or was by these revelations. It's a big universe out there. Well, we are just one tiny speck on this planet, in this universe, that I mean, it's we're just like a grain of dust. Like, and our universe is like just a larger grain of dust in a huge, huge beach of sand with all these other stars and other universes, galaxies, other galaxies. So to think that of all these stars and these multiple galaxies and all over the place with this ever-expanding universe, that we're the only intelligent life, I think it's pretty arrogant to assume that. It's also arrogant to assume that we are the most intelligent or the most advanced. So if there are people or visitors or whatever coming in from other places that we don't know about, I don't think I would be very surprised. There's so much about this world and this universe that we do not understand. And, this is just another symptom of that. But the government finally just decided to, like, you know what, let's tell people UFOs exist. I don't know if they're just like to get us to stop talking about other stuff, or they just felt like it was time to tell the truth, which I don't know if I believe that either. Who knows what the motives are, but they finally let that shit go. For all the people that believe in conspiracy theories, you were right. Speaking of conspiracy theorists, man. So I'm gonna preface this by saying that I am a lifelong New York Jets fan. I've been a Jets fan since I was a kid, and this past season, the 2023 season, was supposed to be a season for the ages, right? We got Aaron Rodgers, and I'm not a huge Aaron Rodgers fan. I'm being the local Chicagoan. I also root for the Bears, and Aaron Rodgers has just ripped our hearts out on so many occasions. But I always respected him and knew that he's an elite fucking quarterback. He's one of the best that's ever done it, right? Still playing at a high level. A little bit of a diva. Kind of strange, walks to the beat of his own drum, whatever, what have you. But he decided to move on from the Packers, and they agreed. So they traded him to the New York Jets. And at first, I was very, very tempered in my excitement. I didn't want to go too high, too quick. Like, you know what, man? He's older. It's the Jets. Something always happens. It's just, I'm not going to get too excited. And then, he started, like, going to Knicks games and, like just all these press appearances and in mini camp. And then, summer comes around and it's training camp and the Jets are on Hard Knocks. And I'm watching this shit. I'm just like, yo, maybe this is it. Maybe this is a year. maybe this is going to turn around, right? And as soon as I really could get all in, and I believe 4 plays into the opening game of the season, Monday Night Football, I came home. I got food. I'm sitting here. I'm glued to the TV. I don't want to miss 1 second of this game. 4 plays in, Aaron Rodgers tears his fucking Achilles, season over. So that was strange, but what unfolded after the fact was probably 10 times more strange. So Aaron Rodgers starts, he believes in alternative medicine and accelerated therapy and all this other stuff. So he's basically saying that he believes that he could come back from a torn Achilles before the end of the season, right? He's rehabbing, he's doing this aggressive rehab, as he called it. And, he would start appearing on the Jets sideline, and he's walking around, he is in a walking boot, and that's something that, typically, You don't get off of crutches from a torn Achilles. The Achilles is like if not the one of the largest tendons in your body. Very, very devastating injury, especially for a 39-year-old man. Regardless of how much shape you're in, how good your diet is, this is a very, very hard thing to come back from. But Aaron Rodgers, he's saying like, man, I could do this, right? And then he's walking around, he's not on crutches, and they're like, oh, that's impressive. We're not used to seeing that. Then not long after that, he's got on regular shoes and he's on the sideline and he's in pregame throwing passes and warm-ups and shit. I'm like, hold on. Maybe this has some legs. Maybe this motherfucker can come back. The Jets could just stay in it. Of course, the Jets did not stay in it. Zach Wilson is just not a good quarterback. The Jets have a good defense, a great defense, man, but it was just too much. They weren't completely overwhelmed. And Zach Wilson did have his moments, but he's not the guy. He got benched once. I think we put like Trevor Siemian in. That shit didn't work. It was an awful season. Another awful season for the Jets. But what made it strange was this whole thing around Aaron Rodgers kept saying he's going to come back, and then towards the end of the season, he's just like, nah, I'm not coming back, and it just probably not a good idea for me to try to do that. Which is what everybody was basically saying from the jump. But you trying to get all of us to believe that this is actually fucking possible, that this 39-year-old man could come back from an Achilles injury in a couple of months. And you had us trying to believe that shit. But what also made it strange was that, so Aaron Rodgers does a weekly appearance on the Pat McAfee show, which is now on ESPN. And, him and McAfee talk, and he's gotten a little bit of hot water on the Pat McAfee show before. During the pandemic, he was talking a lot of stuff about COVID vaccines and this, that, and the third. And then, he kind of lied about his vaccination status. And it was a kind of whole big to-do around that. This time, he opened his mouth about Jimmy Kimmel, basically saying that he was going to be on that Epstein list that just got released, which is just another weird fucking thing that happened. But yeah, basically saying that Jimmy Kimmel, and I don't even know why he was picking on Jimmy Kimmel or what happened. I know Jimmy Kimmel was kind of got on him in the past because of some of the things he said, some of the off the wall stuff he's had. Aaron Rodgers has become known as a bit of a conspiracy theorist himself, especially with the COVID stuff. And I know Jimmy Kimmel's kind of got at him about that in the past, but he's a fucking comedian on late night. They talk about everybody. So I don't know if that's why Aaron Rodgers decided that he was going to go at him. But Jimmy did not take lightly to that shit. It actually threatened to sue Aaron Rodgers if he kept, basically, keep my name out your fucking mouth. Which is this is just not what we signed up for with this. You were supposed to come and rescue a downtrodden franchise. You gave us all hope. You were telling all this shit. And obviously him tearing his Achilles, he didn't do that on purpose. It was just a very unfortunate accident. The Jets' offensive line is trash. That was a concern going into the season. So it was just kind of, it was just very ironic that happened 4 plays in. But then all the extra shit afterwards, like giving the false hope, talking about you can come back from an Achilles, and then all the other stuff surrounding that, man. It was just Aaron Rodgers just getting weirder and weirder and weirder. And I don't know what the fuck to look forward to next season now. I'm just gonna watch and hope for the best. But I'm still a fan. Jets, Jets. Moving on. Now we're in 2024. It's funny, I just said that at the 24 mark. that was very, very poetic. And this is shaping up to be another weird year. It's an election year. And the past 4 years of Joe Biden, weird is one way you could describe it. It's just like, I don't know what happens. I don't see even if Joe Biden is reelected, how the fuck he makes it through 4 more years. I mean, he just really seems like he's struggling here. Like, he be like falling asleep and forgetting shit. And I mean, he's old. You know, it's kind of like, I mean, this is one of the toughest jobs that you can have in the world. And he's in his 80s. He should be retired. Joe Biden should be somewhere chilling, watching his grandchildren or whatever, you know, play in the field, in the backyard or in the pool or whatever. Joe Biden shouldn't be fucking president, man. And it's almost kind of sad to see. It's just, and there's been just a whole lot of weird shit. He kind of gave us the head fake with the student loans. Fuck you, Joe Biden. I didn't appreciate that because you definitely had us excited about that. I even read there was some things, but I didn't know this. His dog was biting people. He was like biting Secret Service agents and other people. Like there were several incidents where his dog was biting people in the White House. I don't know if that's ever been a thing before. I know people in the White House has always had pets, but I've never really heard about the dogs biting people. I think they should be a little more well trained than that. But yeah, but now 2024 has come up, and of course Donald Trump is running again. We got crazy Ron DeSantis down in Florida running, and it just seems like every year our options just get worse. And even despite Trump being impeached, being indicted, all these criminal charges, he's still leading in Republican polls. Like, he's still the leading candidate for the Republican Party, which is crazy. I don't understand how this has happened and how people have gotten so detached from reality. Is like everybody believes what they want to believe. I was watching a report the other day. There was a woman, her name escapes me right now, but she was one of the people that were charged for the Capitol riot, who stormed the Capitol on January 6th of 2020. Was that 2021? Whatever it was. And she has now been sentenced to jail. And she's supposed to be reporting to jail very soon. So they were kind of like, you know, had an interview with her in her last days before she turned herself in. And she was they were showing her the video, and she was talking about, like, she can't believe that was her. Like, she seemed like so angry. She doesn't understand, like, what she was doing. So she seemed very, like, contrite about that, regretful for her actions. But then they started to question her about Trump. And she's basically like, no, Trump was right. And she still believes that the election was stolen from him. And yeah, she basically believes pretty much everything he says, and that, like, you know, the government's just out to get him. And while she may regret what she did, because obviously she's going to jail, she got to be away from her children, but the idea behind it, she still believes in. And I don't know how or when people became so radicalized in this manner. I don't know what has driven people to this, but it just seems like a lot of people are just very out of touch with truth is subjective now. Facts are subjective. And where there used to be absolutes, and then it's just like you have your opinion, you have your feelings. Well, okay, but these are facts. This is what happened. You can feel how you want to feel about it, but you can't dispute facts. And that's just not the case now. What the truth is, what the facts are, is subjective, based on who you talk to, and that's a scary place to be in. I don't know what that means for us going forward. But I do know that this election is probably going to be a huge shit show. I can't even imagine. I mean, it seems like Joe Biden has trouble just staying alert in press conferences. I can't imagine what a debate is going to look like with Joe Biden. Him asking questions, and he's like, can you repeat the question? And he's forgetting what the fuck he was saying mid-sentence. You know, so he might have a Mitch McConnell episode. It's just, I I'm not looking forward to it. And then all the ads, and they just get crazier every year. So who knows what we're gonna see coming up on this election cycle. I don't know who I'm gonna vote for. Well, I shouldn't say I know that I don't have the same belief in the presidential office that I did when I was a kid, or even as a young adult. Especially with the things that transpired over the last few terms, makes you question a lot of things. But I do feel like I can't vote for people that just spew hate and just have a blatant disregard for other people that want to treat other people like second-class citizens. Want to talk about people like they don't deserve to be here, like they don't belong here. And I mean, and regardless of what you want to say about it, there are definitely some people that are running for presidential office that are hateful. And who knows what they feel behind closed doors or what other people may say behind closed doors. But like, okay, I don't know that. But what I do know is what the people that are saying and are doing things that I can see in plain sight that are hateful. I can't bring myself to cast a vote for them. But at the same time, on the other side of the coin, it's just like you really get the feeling of, you're fucked either way. That's really what it feels like, and that's not a good place to be when you're talking about electing high-ranking government officials. But like I always do say, I'm more concerned with local politics than I am with national politics because they're far more likely to affect my life beforehand. So just got to wait and see. And at the end of the day, you got to move forward no matter regardless of who's president. We made it through 4 years of Trump before, and we made it through these last 4 years of Biden. We made it through the Reagan years, through Bush, and all the other stuff, man. Everything moves in cycles. There are good times and bad times, but life goes on. We move forward. We progress regardless of the circumstances. So we're going to be all right, one way or the other. Shit just may be a little weird. Shit may get a little crazy. Who knows? But whatever the case is, we're going to be all right. And with that being said, I wish everybody a prosperous 2024. Hope you get all the things you want out of this life and out of this year. If you do make resolutions, I'm not a big resolution guy. I don't necessarily set specific things. Okay, I'm gonna do this year. I'm not I don't cut people off at the end of the year and anything like that. It's just every new day is a new opportunity, and all I ever try to do is just progress and be in a better position this next year than I was in the previous year, no matter what that may be, whether that be like financially, spiritually, emotionally, mentally, physically, my health. Just always try to do better and move forward. But if you make resolutions, if you have things you plan on doing for this year, I hope you accomplish it all. I hope you get everything. I hope you do everything that you thought or you want to do. And with that being said, I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. We're going to keep it going in 2024. It's going to be a good year. Easily Offended podcast also, man. We're going to keep moving with that. Got some good interviews coming up on there, man. It's going to be an exciting time. It's going to be a good year. So until next time. Oh, but I do always have to say, thank you. Could be anywhere in the world. You could be watching anything. There's so much content out there. You can be watching anything else but me. So if you do choose to take the time to watch me and listen to what I have to say, I always want to express my gratitude, my utmost thanks to all of you. Continue to rock with me, continue to support. And now I can say, until next time, peace.